Recording in progress.
All right, good evening. We'll call this meeting of the Board of Directors of the Sacramento Metropolitan Fire District to order. This is Thursday, August 14th. And can we get the roll call, please?
Yes, Director Sailors.
Present.
Director Gould.
Present.
Director Stark.
Here.
Director Weber.
Here.
Director Wood.
Here.
Director Clark.
Present.
Director Rice.
Present.
Directors Costa and Jones are absent this evening, and they let me know that ahead of time. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you. Director Rice, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Director. We'll start with the Metro Cable announcement. This meeting is being recorded. Recording will be cablecast on Metro Cable Channel 14, on Comcast and DirecTV Uverse cable systems. The recording will also be closed captioned and video streamed at metrolive.saccounty.gov. Today's meeting is going to replay at 6 o'clock on Monday, August 18th, and again at 6 o'clock on Wednesday, August 20th on Metro Cable Channel 14. Once they're posted, the recordings can be viewed on youtube.com, Metro Cable 14. Right now is a public opportunity for comments, whether on or not on the agenda, and I understand we do have one speaker.
Yes, I have a speaker card from Roger Mitchell.
Good evening, Mr. Mitchell. How are you? Welcome.
Directors, Chief, audience, I'm here this evening. You've seen me before, but we're talking about this evening the fundraising dinner for the restoration of Rio Linda's second fire engine, a 1927 American LaFrance. That dinner will be held on October the 4th, first Saturday in October. And I'm told that we will have a world-class speaker from this fire district at one point. So would love to see all of your smiling faces. Most of you have been to the dinners before. And the same cook will be there, one of your retired master mechanics, does a wonderful job with our full barbecue meals. So we'd love to see you there. On a second note, on September the 6th, the PIO and myself have been working diligently. There will be an open house at Rio Linda's new fire station. And at that open house, Rio Linda's first fire engine, a 1923 Dodge, we will put a plaque on her dash, recognize her as a 100-year-old vehicle from the National Horseless Carriage Club of America. So would love to see all of you there for that. And I would like to thank Director Gould for some things he had told me. I was a little worried about pushing the name Rio Linda when we're all Metro Fire people. I thank you for your advice very much. Also would like to thank Director Brian Rice. Brian, you've helped very much with this fundraising dinner with your support. Also the letter that you've signed for the restoration of the station. So you and I for many years worked together, and I think we're still working together, and I thank you for that. So at this point, if there's any questions, I'm prepared to answer. I hope so.
Could we get one more time the date of the fundraiser?
The fundraising dinner is October the 4th.
And the time?
The time is 5 o'clock, but as you well know, Director, it seems like at 5 o'clock, half the people are there.
Yeah.
So we have to do a dance for about a half an hour till the rest of the people get there, and then we'll start. But yeah, most of you that have been there, I'm amazed with the two ladies that put together our auction and our raffle. It's just, it's amazing. So I think it'll be fun for all of us, and hopefully you can come. Any other questions?
Any other questions for Mr. Mitchell? No? All right, thanks so much. Look forward
Thank
to
you
seeing
very much, Directors.
Thank you.
If there's anyone on Zoom wishing to make a public comment, please use the raise your hand feature. Other public comments, thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll move on to consent. Do I have any questions on the consent items? I'll entertain a motion.
So move.
Got a motion and a second. Can we get the roll, please?
Yes. Director Sailors.
Aye.
Director Gould.
Aye.
Director Stark.
Aye.
Director Clark.
Aye.
Director Rice.
Aye.
Director Weber.
Aye.
And President Wood.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Wonderful. Moving on to reports. Nothing from the president under that report. So move on to Fire Chief. Chief Wagaman, good day.
Oh, good evening, directors, colleagues, members of the public. Tyler Wagaman, Deputy Chief, filling in for Fire Chief House this evening. I'd like to first start off with a new hire, Kyle Miyamari. He comes to us filling a position as a Fire Investigator 2. Kyle has previously worked and actually coming from the Citrus Heights Police Department with years of law enforcement experience, so we welcome him. Next on the promotional list, congratulations to Jared Hodell for being promoted to the position of Fire Inspector 2, effective July 31st. Next, I'd like to focus on a 7-year veteran who was recently promoted to the position of Supervising Inspector on August 5th. Mr. Ganay, could you please come forward and introduce yourself to the Board of Directors?
Good evening.
Hello, everyone. I'm Cristian Ganea. I'm in fire service for a little bit more than 30 years now. Started in Transylvania, Romania, as a military firefighter. Back in Romania, the professional firefighters, they have military ranks. After 19 years and a couple months over there, I quit and I moved to the United States. My last rank over there was a captain, so I was a deputy fire marshal over there. Moved to the United States 11 years ago, started learning the language. 9 years ago, I got a job with Vancouver Fire in Washington State. And 7 years ago, yesterday, I started working for Metro Fire. And after 7 years, I'm here as a supervising inspector.
Outstanding. Congratulations. Welcome.
Congratulations.
Great. Do we have any questions? Wonderful. Welcome aboard and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
So for a few additional staff that participated in that supervisor testing process is Rebecca Lita, Roman Kletz, and Flor Oliveris. So they remain on the eligibility list, which will expire on July 23rd of 2027. Lastly, Chief Mitchell, Green, Nygren, and House are attending the Fire Rescue International Conference in Florida. FRI is a leadership-focused conference for fire and EMS chiefs. The conference offers sessions on political navigation, change management, ethical leadership, EMS issues, and much, much more, as well as an exhibit hall showcasing the latest fire technology and equipment. We expect that team back tomorrow. Hopefully they're not all on the same plane. And that'll be the end of my report, unless you have any questions for me.
That was a little dark, Chief.
None of them are flying.
Questions for Chief Wagaman? All right. Thank you so much, Chief. Understand we have no operations report, so I'll move on to Chief Eureka Administration Report.
Good evening, President Wood, board members, Chief Wagaman, colleagues, and guests. I'll keep this brief tonight, but Community Relations is thrilled to share that National Night Out on August 5th was a fantastic success. Our amazing crews and staff had the pleasure of attending 19 different community events that night. The next item, exciting news. Metro Fire has been nominated for Best Government Services at the Best of Citrus Heights event. The winner of that event will be revealed online on August 22nd, and we will keep you posted as to how that goes. And then last, following up on Roger Mitchell's comments, mark your calendars for Saturday, September 6th, as we celebrate the 100th anniversary of Old Betsy at the open house scheduled for Fire Station 111 in Rio Linda from 10 a.m. to noon. And we'd love to see you there to celebrate together. And then from Wellness, Health, and Safety, Peer Support and Human Resources have started their tag team station tour, which is designed to further educate our members on what resources are available to them regarding behavioral health and workers' compensation. The new work comp liaison function is also being introduced at those visits. And lastly, from the training division, the Fire Academy graduation is next Friday, August 26th. You're all invited, obviously, and should have the invites in your email. And that is the end of my report.
Thank you very much. Director Gould?
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Chief, really quickly, I hear there's a rumor floating around that we're gonna have something like a 25th anniversary event for this organization coming up.
Yes, sir. October 18th.
And you wanna tell us about that every time we meet so that we can get the publics involved and apparently they want shiny cars that make lots of noise.
Yes, there will be a car show as part of that event. I apologize, I don't have the time for that event in front of me at the moment, but yes, it is on Saturday, October 18th.
And is it just firefighters or board
Nope,
members that
open-
have shiny hot rods that should be coming to that or who?
Open to the
It's-
public.
It is employees and retirees and board members right now that received the invitation as far as, hey, would you like to bring your shiny hot rod?
Okay.
And the event starts at 11 a.m. I'm on the culture club that's planning it, so.
Okay, is there any opportunity for people that aren't on the list that you just described but have shiny, loud, annoying cars that might want to come?
We're gonna have a meeting next week. Let me talk to them about that, and I'll get back to you.
Just a car show's no fun if there's 11 cars.
We are going to have we do have a retired Metro Fire member who's going to be taking over the car show, and he is supposed to be coming to our meeting next week. So
awesome. Let's
I will
just get-
find out more info then.
People have been calling me asking
Oh,
if they can
okay.
show their annoying shiny cars, and I've been to a few of them, and 11 cars is just not gonna
No.
cut it.
Yeah. Good to know, though,
Okay.
and I will get back to you on that.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Thanks, Chief. Appreciate it.
Director Weber?
Yes, Chief, could you identify the work comp liaison individual?
The Chief Peck, can you?
Okay, I just wanted the rest of the board to know who is in that position, in case we have any questions for him. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about the program.
So yeah, good evening, Tony Peck, Assistant Chief, Wellness, Health, and Safety. So with the new Wellness, Health, and Safety Division, Captain Ryan Manfredi, one of his additional duties that we're venturing into is this work comp liaison. And the first part of it is him just reaching out to our members who are on work comp. He does that about every 4 to 6 weeks. We've seen in the past that members have gone long periods of time without hearing from anybody here at Metro Fire. So simply just reaching out, that human element, hey, we're here, you have any needs? So that's one part of that. The second part is working with Angela Lewis in HR on the presumptive cases. We found that there's a lot of delays between the line and HR as far as paperwork. So him working with Angela Lewis on the presumptives and helping those members, that's another part of that liaison function. So this is new right now to Wellness, Health, and Safety Division. And so that's basically who's doing it, Ryan Manfredi.
So how did you come up with the 4 to 6 weeks? 6 weeks seemed like a long time to be reaching out to these folks, but how did you come up with that number?
Well, 4 to 6 weeks is new, so as time goes on, maybe that becomes 2 to 4 weeks. What we didn't want to do is really inundate a lot of the members with a lot of phone calls. So we're kind of feeling it out to see how that works.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Thank you, Chief. Appreciate that.
That was the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Any other comments or questions for Chief Eureka? No? Thanks. All right, we also do not have a support services report. We have no 522 report, so we'll move on to committee and delegate reports. The executive committee has none. Sorry? Oh. Yeah, I was given on good authority before the meeting today that there would be none.
Oh.
And so moving on to Comm Center JPA, I understand there's no report for them. Director Jones is not here, but the Finance and Audit Committee will meet next on August 28th at 5:30 in this room. Policy Committee met earlier today, and I guess that's Director Sailors is going to report out.
Yes, Policy Committee met at 5:30 this evening, and we received an update on our year to date so far on how the policies review has been going, and how they have organized that and given direction to the managers of each division and they are working on that very diligently. And in December, we will receive another update on how that is going. We also reviewed a policy for violence in the workplace. And that is going to take some time before it comes to the full board. And our next policy committee will be September 11th. Thank you, end of report.
Do we have any questions or comments for Director Sailors? No, sir. Thank you, Director. We'll move on now to board member questions and comments. I'll start to my left with Director Rice.
Thank you, President Woods. Just on the consent agenda, really happy to support the purchase of the two D5s. I was kind of going through the equipment list, and it really looks like they're done well, and they're done to provide operator safety. I just have one question on the pictures. They look like they're only in cat primered yellow. Are we going to be painting them red?
That's the first time I heard of that request, to be honest with you. Never say never. I can look into it. Yeah, I know we have a dozer operator here. We'll have to ask him what his suggestion is as well.
Metro firefighters' uniforms are navy blue and our apparatus is red. But good job. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Director. Director Sailors?
No comments tonight, thank you.
And Director Clark?
Yeah, like Director Rice, I'm excited about the dozers. And looking forward to checking them out over there at Fleet. So, yeah, that's a great tool. Great tool. Yeah, so that's it.
All right. Director Gould?
No comment.
Director Stark? Good. Director Weber?
On the dozer, when do we anticipate receiving those? Is there a timeline on that?
As soon as the order's completed, I can get you a more defined timeline.
So we haven't even placed the order yet?
Nope. It's contingent upon this board meeting.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
$35 to 40 weeks or days? Weeks, okay.
Days.
Yeah, it is about pregnancy target. All right, finally, I just want to express my gratitude. I got to spend some time out with the crews at Station 26, the engine, the truck, and the medic out there. I appreciate all of their hospitality and their candor. It's always good to get out and hear kind of the unfiltered comments and be able to talk to people. And for whatever reason, they seem to be very comfortable talking to me, so I appreciate it. I appreciate hearing all the viewpoints, all the opinions and recommendations, and hope to keep hearing them all for a while longer. So thanks to those guys out there. With that, we'll move into closed session. We have 2 items we'll address, and hopefully none of you will be here when we get out.
Let us know when you're ready, President Wood.
Recording in progress.
Laura, would you mind reporting out, please?
Yes, thank you, Director Wood. The board met in closed session under the closed session agenda for 2 items. The first was Randy Bowes in the Sacramento Metropolitan Fire District workers' compensation settlement issue. The board voted unanimously to direct the third-party administrator for the district to effectuate a settlement of that workers' compensation claim. Number 2, the board met and discussed the matter of Stephen Oberlander and the Sacramento Metropolitan Fire District. The board voted unanimously to provide settlement authority to its third-party administrator to effectuate a settlement of Mr. Oberlander's claim. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next board meeting is August 28th at 6 o'clock in this room, and we are adjourned till then.
Recording stopped.